for dropping by. Hippie Robbie here, and welcome to my shop. Let's go see if we can get in some trouble in here. What do you say? There's old Yeller. Yep, she's already in trouble. Okay folks, I got the gas shut off, turned off. We had two hoses, one there and one up here just a little bit behind it. I recommend taking off the first one so we can see the other one. And I like to use a long pair of needle nose pliers. And I just grab the spring, dead on, give it a little twist at the ears. Do this off camera, and you don't even know it. Alright. There we go. Alright, got that down, I'll just leave it on the hose. Now, these can be a real pain if they've been on there especially a long time. This is a newer bike. I like to take and put the hose right up there like that. I don't squeeze it, but I don't let it open. Then I like to push it down, and it pushes it right off. So you can press that top of the hose and it'll push it right off. And the harder you tug on it from out here, the tighter it actually gets. You'll get it off, but you might skin a knuckle or two. Now we're going to pull the overflow hose. I leave it on. I just pull it up through the frame, and we're going to pull the bolts and take the tank off. Number 10 again. Easy there, kid. Now we're going to pull this up through the frame, and there she's off. Now I haven't had this tank off yet, so I'm not sure how it works. I'm going to say it like that. There she goes. We're going to remove this screw and remove the cables. Phillips headed screw. Looks like it's got a little Loctite on it. Alrighty then. Pull this off. That out of the way. A little bit. Okay, let's unhook the rear airbox boot, or at least loosen it up for now. And let's loosen up the intake. I think I can do it. Out of the way of that bar. Oh yeah, we got it. And I got a couple of vacuum hoses. Actually, only one we have to deal with. I'm going to pull off this vacuum line here. It looks like it goes to the vacuum evaporation system. Little valve up here. And pull that off. Set it aside. I'm going to pull the choke off right here. I'm going to use a extended needle nose pliers because I'm getting tired of messing with it. So we're going to take it off. These here guys, cats meow. We really ought to have a pair of them. I think you can get them at Harbor for freight, straight and curved nose for less than 30 bucks, something like that. All right. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's a plastic nut, so you gotta be careful. But it don't take much to turn it. See there? It's real gentle. Don't really have to put any grip on it. And you hold your tongue just right, it comes out. There you go, you see it? You guys see that? All right, we got that out. So we got the choke cable out of the way. We're gonna drain the bowl. I put a hose on the bottom, the nipple on the fuel bowl. And I'm gonna pull this here and drain it. I've got it situated so it'll drain into a fuel can. And there she goes. It won't be much, but it just beats being a pain in the butt. Okay. Now that I've taken the hoses off, the cables, now that everything's free but the boots, and they're loosened up. I'm going to rotate the carburetor clockwise about 90 degrees. Well, no. Yeah, try to get a 90 out of it. We'll see. There. See, it's just about 90. Alrighty then. We'll go to the other side. Now, folks, I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm going to pull 4 screws, Phillips-headed screws, up here. That'll give me access to the bowl and the idle jet. So, hang on, we'll get that done. It's kind of hard to show you guys and do it at the same time, but it's not a lot of space. Got to be real careful. I hear these screws are kind of crappy, and they kind of feel that way. Okay, that should come off fairly easy, and it did. I'm going to put the 140 main jet in it. I'm going to pull this. You want to be careful around your floats. Okay, there she comes. I'm not used to having to work around a camera in a way, but we'll get it. It's just a matter of time. I always said good mechanic wears it to death. Sorry about the, there. Okay. Oh. I don't know if you guys seen that. The float rod. So yeah, that would make it kind of ornery. And that should go right on there now. No fuss, no muss. It should. See? And now, we have it on there. What we're going to do is take an 1/8 inch drill a small hole in there, take this screw, screw it in there, and pull it out. So, let's get to it. It should be a quick fix, hopefully. Ooh, look out. All right. There we go. Well, I think that'll do it. It's pretty soft. All right. Well, one thing about bib overalls, you can carry about everything you want in the pockets. There she is. We're going to gently screw this in until it seats. You can see that I'm not putting much pressure on it. It's seated, and we're going to come out 1 3/4 turns. There's 1, 1 1/2, 1 3/4. It will be our starting point. Okay, I've loosened the cap up on a diaphragm and slide already and took a couple bolts out there just to speed things up a little. It's a plastic cap, so be careful how you handle it. All right, got the cap out, screws, spring, and it makes no difference which way the spring goes. I'm going to pull the diaphragm up here like so. Pull it out. No plastic piece comes out, and the needle. You want to be careful with the rubber. Okay, per Eagle Mikes instructions, I'm putting 1 shim under the needle clip, and the brass one goes on top. So now I've installed it in there. You can see the brass in there. I hope you can see the brass in there. Maybe not. It's kind of tricky, but there you go. Maybe. All right. And we drop that in. Spring. Don't want to forget the spring. Okay, now there's really not a trick to this. If you do it right, you got it in place, you just kind of, you'll feel the gasket of the, or the seal around the slide diaphragm go into the slot around the top of the carb. In there. Whatever you do, don't over tighten these. I'm going to rotate the carb back in position. And the first thing I'm going to do is tighten the intake side down. Make sure it's locked in there pretty good. Yeah, it seems okay. I'd like to really double check this one. A little leak around that one and can drive a man nuts looking for that son of a gun. Okay, tighten this one up. Air box. Are you still with me? All right, cool. Tighten up the air box screw. I really backed it off because I was thinking about pulling the car, but I didn't. This is an in-frame install. Okay, long-winded son of a gun. All right. Now I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to put the choke in and just get it out of the way. So now reverse everything else. We got to put the tank on, hook up the vacuum line, the fuel line, and actually go take it for a ride and see what happens. Well, I got her back together and she fired right up. I decided to take her for a little ride. I rode her about 10 miles to a little roadside park called Green Access. And stopped there, and I noticed that the idle was a little high, so I took and lowered it. It was about 1800, and I lowered it down to about 12. And then I got back on it and decided to try it again. And to be honest with you, so far, I really love the way the needle is. It's much more responsive. It doesn't seem like it's starved for fuel. And actually getting from idle to 6,000 RPM is a lot quicker. I won't say it has more horsepower, but it's a lot quicker. I've really enjoyed riding it. I'm out here in Missouri. You notice down here the deers were coming up on. There's probably last year's fawns. The does have new fawns, so they get rid of this year's or last year's, and they bunch up because the doe's got a new one. But anyway, we'll head out here on the lake, around the lake, heading home. And I would have to say the $50 for the kit and the time to do it is well worth it. My KLR is a 2018, and I got to say the needle upgrade is the best $50 I've spent on my bike. It's not hard to do. I don't think if you have any mechanical ability at all, you can do it. Just take your time, don't let it get you down, and do it. You'll thank yourself for it, trust me. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. We did get in a little mischief, but not enough that we couldn't get ourselves out of it. That's kind I like. And the KLR runs very nice. So, job well done for Hippie Robbie. And I gotta thank you for stopping and supporting my very first video. It means a lot to me. It really does. You wouldn't believe the time you get in your first one. So the first one's a big one. You got to get out there. And thank you very much for supporting me on it. Now, if you enjoyed hanging out at the shop and getting in a little mischief, but not going to jail for it, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll make sure that you get a notification the next time next video's up, and it'll be the second one of the Hippie Robbies. But thank you very much for stopping by. Love yourself, be kind to others, and share the peace. Catch you later. You're a good boy, Murphy.